First, I would like to remind you, I don't know, how many of you watched or went to look for tutorials? Okay, so you are using it. So for those that know, here on the CtrlArt website, we have the creator project, which is this class. And down here, we have all what we use during class. So here it's a PDF, two PDFs. This is a video from class 2, plus the image planes, and then this is the class we did last week. So if you don't remember something on the modifiers, for example, you can go back and watch it on YouTube. You have the link here. And feel free to subscribe and to like it if it's likable. Okay, so that is that. And we will try to put it every weekend, more or less. Every weekend we will try to put the video. So you can go back and put it. Okay, so let's go to the class of today, and I'm reminding you, like usual, we open Blender, we put it on Maya settings, very important if you want to follow the shortcuts. And let's start the class. So today we will focus a little bit on selection, how we select things, and we will learn a few nice ways to select fastly. So let's start from really simple. And I'm in edit mode. I'm talking now about edit mode all the time. It's selecting faces, edges, and vertices. So the easiest way is just to press something, to decide, edge, and to just select the edge. If you want to want more than one, you will have to hold Shift and select another one, and so on and so forth. Okay. So this is the easy way to select. But what if you want to select faster? So let's create fastly torus, and we'll go to edit mode and see we have this torus is built out of edge loops, and we already saw how to create edge loops. Now we will see how to select edge loops. So let's go start with edge mode, and if I press CtrlAlt and hold them, I just select unselected, CtrlAlt and hold Ctrl-R together, I can get any edge loop that I want. This is a very fast way to select. So just quickly try it, Ctrl-Alt, and just click on edges to select their edge loops. Okay, that was simple enough. Let's go to face mode and see what happened when we press on face mode. It's actually the same. We get the face edge loops. And now you see sometimes I'm getting it to this direction, sometimes I'm getting it to this direction. And the trick is where you are pressing. So imagine the line between these 2 points. So if you press on the line between the point, you will get this direction. But between these 2 points, if you will press, or these 2 points, you will get this line. So this is how you decide which way you want to go. Now, what if you want to select more than one edge loop? Then we'll need to press almost the same shortcut, but instead of Control, we'll press Shift Alt and hold it together. So now we can add more of those, as many as we want. But Control is actually deselecting. So if I selected this and this, if I hold Control, I can deselect. And you can also draw. You can draw like this, and also with Control you can draw and take it off. Now let's create an object and create another object, two objects, and we will join them. You see here we have this button join, which will actually makes from both of them one object. Okay. So we have two objects which are actually one object. And what if we would like to select, now we are in edit mode, and we would like to select only the sphere. So in this case it's very easy, we'll just create a square around it and we select the whole sphere. But what if it's not easy? like in other cases that I will show you with a monkey. But for now, I'll show you with this what I can do. I can select one face, and then with Control L, L standing for link, it will select all the faces that are actually physically connected with this face. So it didn't select nothing from the cube because the cube is actually not part of it. Again, the monkey. Okay, so if we go on edit mode on the monkey, we will see that if we select the face, one face in the eye, and we'll press Control L for linked, you will see that the eye is actually disconnected from the rest of the face. It's actually two separate objects, actually three, because also this eye, Control L, also this eye is separate. So this is a very easy way if you want to select the pieces that you know that they are already not connected to each other, and you can work with them and manipulate them and do whatever you want. Now this was linked faces. Now let's stay with the monkey and see how we can select something and then grow it, or let's say select more or less. So let's select edges, and let's take this edge loop of the eye. You see I got nice edge loop around the eye, but I actually want also to manipulate the faces that connected to this edge. So what I can do, and I will show you now on the screen the shortcut, because it's easier, because not everybody have the same keyboard. Yeah, it's not here. Okay, you see this is the shortcut, Shift plus this button, which is button, skipping one button from Shift, it's select more, Shift plus this button, which is two buttons from the Shift, is less. Now let's try it. See, I can do more and less. So in this case, one time more would be exactly enough for what I want to do, which is to scale a bit. Okay, so I'll quickly repeat it. So with Shift we select more things. Okay, every time we press constantly Shift, we can select more. Okay, with Alt we select less. With Control Alt we select edge loop. With Shift Alt we select another edge loop, which basically the same, but it keeps also the first edge loop that we selected, or not even edge loop. We can select one edge, and if we would like to add to it edge loop, we will have to press Shift Alt. Basically, it's easy to remember that Shift is to add selection. Yeah. Okay. The important thing about edge loops works with quads. Whenever we have quads, this is quad and this is triangle. Whenever he hits triangle, he will stop. The edge loop will stop, and you can see it also. There are more examples. Let's say this one. Here we have triangle, so if we select this edge loop, you see it will stop in this triangle, and again here, because here he's not sure where to go. So now we will look at, we saw how to join two objects together. We saw it here. This is how to join. Now we'd like to look how to separate things. And maybe it happened to you that you created an object when you were in edit mode, and then you realize in object mode that it's now, these two objects are just one object, but it can be applied for other examples. So we do it in edit mode, okay? And if you would look in mesh, vertices, under vertices, you would see separate. Then we see we have three options. The first one is selection, then material, and then loose parts. So let's start with loose parts. And what it actually means, loose parts mean all the parts who are not actually physically connected to each other, which means the edges or the vertices are not connected. And we saw it with the eye. So if we will press loose part, when we will go to object mode, we realize that whatever was not connected, like this eye and this eye, are out already. And now we stayed only with the skull of the monkey. Okay, so this is one way, and this is, it works only when you have parts who are not anyway connected. Let's go to the second monkey, edit mode, and let's select face. Okay, now this face loop, or I don't know how to call it, this face loop is actually physically connected. If I will pull it, you see it's physically connected to the rest. So that's why before, when we did loose part, it didn't separate it. So the other way is to go mesh, vertices, separate, selection. And now if we will go to object mode, we will realize that we have one object is the whole monkey, and the other object is what we selected. Okay. The third option is by materials, and this is, I can do it, but it's quite clear what it is. So I'll just quickly apply materials. So Control L to select linked, and the new one, and I will change the color, make it clear, and assign it. We'll come to this in the future. Okay, so now we have this little monkey with the green eyes, and then we'll go to mesh, vertices, separate, materials. So when we go back to object mode, we have one object is the green because it has the same material. The other one, now it's not important what is the material or what's the properties, it's just a way for the program to know how to split things. So loose parts, selection, and material. This is the three ways that we can create from one object a different object. Yeah, I will create cube, and we'll go to edit mode and loop, cut, and slide. Okay, I will select this side, and I will scroll the mouse so I get 3 of them. I press right click, then left click, and then immediately right click, so I get them exactly in the middle. Okay, now I will select these edges, and it's really not important what you are doing here. Just the whole idea is that they are not in the same height. Okay, so each one has its own height. Now we'll look how to align them all to the same height. Okay, so there is the long way to do it, but first let's look down here, and down here we see that we have a magnet which is grayed out. So let's activate the magnet. Now next to the magnet, it's actually asking me to what do I want to snap it or magnetize it. So let's go in this case to vertex. Okay, so for now this is enough. Just activate the magnet and put it on vertices. So now if I will select one edge and I will start to go up and down, if I will go with the mouse to the vertex, it will align it. Okay, I will just show you from side view. This is our edge, and I'm going up, but actually I'm bringing the mouse to my vertex. I bring the mouse to the vertex, and it immediately snaps it to the same height. If I will bring it to this vertex, it will be snapped to here, it can be snapped to here, or it can be snapped to here, or it can be snapped to everywhere, basically. Wherever you have edge or a vertex. So this is the long way. It means that we will need to select each edge and slowly bring them to the same height. But we won't do it this way, because this is too long, and there is a shorter way. And now the shorter way, the shorter way is we go to vertices. I will do it from the side view because it's easier, but you can also work from here. So we select all the top ones, all the vertices that we want to change. Then we go to scale mode and press R or click down here. And then we'll just squeeze it a bit to the middle. And immediately after we left it, we are not going to click anything, we will come to the vector section, select all of them, and press 0. And if you now look on the side view, you see that they are all exactly straight to each other. So I will repeat it. We'll select all these vertices. We will squeeze it down, and it's not important how much. It can be even just a touch. We just want to come to this vector box and type 0 on all of them, and we'll get it straight. Now there is another thing I would like to do with this box, and it's to bring those vertices to the plane. This is my plane. You can see from the big screen that the plane is cutting the cube in the middle, and I think this is the default, but I'm not sure. So I would like to bring it back to the plane. So we stayed on the snap, we stay on the activate magnet, but now we'll change something, because we don't have, if I would have another object that it's already aligned, let's say for example, if I would have plane, I could easily snap it without changing anything. I could snap it to the plane, you see, because I'm still activated on vertex. But let's say that we do not have this plane and we don't want to create it. So we will come down here, we will select increment, and then immediately we will activate the grid. Okay, we will activate immediately the grid. See, here is the increment, and next to it there is the grid. And now you see it will snap, it will always snap to the grid. It will be easier to see it from the side view. See? It will immediately snap it to the grid. And let's select even this face, it's easier to see. If you look at this face, you will see that it will jump from one grid line to another. So this is a way to measure things and to make them accurate. If you know what's the size of the unit, of one unit, then you can know exactly what is the size of your model. Okay. I just delete the face between. Okay. So now I have two pieces, and I would like to connect between them. Okay. And one way we saw already, and I will just repeat it so we are all on the same page. It's we can select vertices, and then go to merge down here. Then we have all those options, if you remember. At first, at last. See? So I can do it this way. This is, for example, if I will delete this face, and I will Control-Alt, of course on edge mode, then this is an edge loop also, although it's not really edge loop. So this is an edge loop, and now with Alt-Shift, because I would like also this edge loop, I'll select these two edge loops, and would like to bridge them. So let's go to Mesh, Edges. Since we select edges, it will be under Edges, and Bridge Edge Loops. And we just create it back. Okay, for the whole we don't need to do bridge, because we can do it, but we have other way to do it. We will select this edge loop, and Mesh. Now it will be in faces. We'll have fill, and then it gives it with this line that I don't like. Okay, let me just quickly say a few words about deleting, because deleting is a bit complicated. Let's say that when we press delete, we have all these options. And basically, if you select face, you need to delete face. And if you select, and with faces, it's very simple. You just delete and that's it. But with edges, it can be very tricky, because if we will go, just a minute, if we will go and delete edges, we lost also the faces. And maybe it happened to you. The way to delete edges, especially edges, is to do dissolve. And dissolve is actually deleting the edge without destroying the mesh. So we can delete all of those edges. So if you have some messy mesh, just dissolve the edges that gives you trouble and start all over. It's the easiest way to do. But sometimes we wouldn't like to move any vertex. We would like to leave all the vertex that we have as they are. let's say uh, okay, so I have this and I will duplicate it with Ctrl D, and I will join it, because if you want to bridge something it has to be the same object. So I will join it, go to edit mode, I will start with deleting these faces. With shift I'm selecting the second one. Okay, now I would like to bridge between these two, but I do not want to lose any of my vertices. So I could extrude it and then merge it. But sometimes even this will be hard because there will be different count of vertices on each side. So I will do again what we did before. Show it again. I will select this edge loop with Shift Alt and this one. Mesh, edges, and bridge. So now you see we didn't change anything, but we created mesh between them, and we did it with few less steps than extruding and merging. Yes?
Is there a tool for bridging?
Probably.